Hi, I'm Mary.
And I'm Katie, and this is The Housewife Did It.
Pop culture edition.
Woo, woo. All
Woo.
right.
Okay. Hopefully that goes away.
Yeah.
Are you ready for some tidbits?
Yeah.
Okay, lots of info to start. Probably my favorite thing that happened this week. Rachel Leviss is selling what I can only describe as her affair merch on eBay.
Yeah.
She is selling her Tom Tom hoodies and her lightning bolt necklace, and is sending the money earned from these sales to a mental health organization in honor of World Mental Health Day, which was on October 10th.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when she first listed them, and I checked, the sweatshirts were going together for over $2,000, and the necklace was going for over $900.
Mm-hmm.
My opinion on this is I think it's great for Rachel that she is continuing to lean into that, like turning over a new leaf of mental health and moving past what has happened and like putting herself first. But there is something so icky about selling those specific items for
Mm-hmm.
other people to wear
Yeah.
that I just cannot get past.
Yeah, and like I understand. I understand that like the more money you can get, I guess. I get that like the more money you can get for a mental health organization the better. So it's like I guess if she can get that much
Yeah.
money then like fine. But it's like we watched her buy that necklace and it was like what, like $400?
Mm-hmm.
So 900 makes like maybe a little
Mm-hmm.
sense to like now it's got a story behind it. I'm trying to raise money, whatever.
I think it was
Sweat
800.
Oh, okay, even better. Sweatshirts that you got for free
Mm-hmm.
for $1,000 a piece. And again, I know you're paying
Yeah.
for like the story behind them, but like, whoa, dude, like that's crazy talk.
Yeah. It just is so weird to me. People were like, no one's going to want to buy it. Like, some people were like, no one's going to want to buy this. And other people were saying, like, I kind of want to buy this to
Oh,
just
people
have
will
it.
want to buy it, yeah.
Yeah, for the sake of having it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's probably like the craziest thing I think that's happened this week. But also in the Bravo universe, drama is kind of amping up on Roni. We've talked about that this new cast has been a little lacking on the drama because they are like such good friends. But it seems like Sai and Jessel are kind of in a full-on feud based on what was said in Anguilla and at their lunch that Jessel was 45 minutes late for. Um, and then every time Sai like rants about this, Aaron just kind of like fuels her fire and amps her up even more. So we already know that they could not stand Jessel's sex life, but now that Jessel and Pavitt have had sex, Sai and Aaron are still not satisfied. They're trying to spread a narrative that he is cheating on Jessel because he likes to go to Vietnam and because he doesn't wear a wedding ring. And like it's like purely like gossipy and like speculative, but they're like, I don't know, like if my husband was just going to Vietnam for no reason, like I'd want to know who he's sleeping with there. And my husband always wears his wedding ring so people know he's married and blah blah blah. And like it just feels like it doesn't matter what Jessel and Pavitt do, they're
Mm-hmm.
not going to be happy with them.
Yeah.
Um, Also, Uba has a new love interest in her life, and she wants to keep it to herself because it's new, which is apparently fine, but just not when Jenna does it.
Mm-hmm.
When Jenna wants to keep her new love interest hush hush, it's an issue.
Yeah.
But when Uba does it, they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, I also think Sai loves that she's the only one that knows. So, like, if Jenna
Right.
Lyons had said, I'm not going to tell anyone about who I'm dating, but then leaned over to Sai and told her, I think Sai would
Right.
have loved that. So, Yeah, I don't know. I was also going to say about Jessel that,
Mm-hmm.
like, I started off hating her. Like, she was so annoying. But these women have made me a fan. Like, they've made me a fan of Jessel because they won't get off her ass. And I am,
Yeah.
like, now rooting for her because I'm like, can y'all just
Yeah.
leave this poor girl alone?
Like, literally, like, she's like, we had sex, and they're like, no, you didn't. What
Yeah.
do you want from her? What more do you want from her?
Ugh. But my feeling is that they keep showing that scene for the finale where
Mm-hmm.
Sai is yelling, I did not say it on TV. And I think that that's going to be about this guy that Uba is with.
Yeah.
It said something about, like, a guy in Connecticut. So I guess we'll find out. But yeah, I mean, if I were Uba being like, I trust Sai more than anything. Like, ha ha ha. Stupid. Don't do that.
I wouldn't.
Yeah. On Instagram, it seems that Jessel and Bryn are, quote, best friends, according to Jessel posting a picture of them with the song, That's My Best Friend. She a real bad bitch. That. Which I must say was not on my bingo card from the start. Bryn and Jessel are not the same, but...
No.
But I do think Bryn is like me. I think she's like, damn, like, can y'all just leave this girl alone? I feel like I have to be here for her now.
Yeah.
Sai has gone on a couple different things and spoken out about this edit she has gotten about always being hungry and that she finds it really annoying. I agree that it's very annoying. And listen, I am not naive to how editing can make someone look and that how editing works. But they did not make you say it. So you at least said it as many times as they showed you saying it. So the only way that would be problematic is if all the other cast members are also complaining about being hungry and they're just cutting those out and making it look like it's just you. But it's like, you really are always talking about being hungry. So
and that's okay.
Yeah, girl.
It's good to be hungry.
Also, of all the edits Housewives have ever gotten, like, this is the hill you want to die on. Like, people get edited as, like, a whore, as, like, mean, as, and, like, you're mad because they edited you as hungry.
Right. Also, like, I think it'd be different if they were editing, like, a fat person as being always hungry.
Yeah.
But Sai is not that.
She's just fucking always hungry. And, like, no one made
it's
you...
funny when skinny people say it.
Well, and it's like she did show up to this golf date and say, well, I had already eaten because I didn't know if you were going to feed me. Like, no one made you say that. Like, no one else ate before, so that wasn't the edit, baby girl.
Yeah.
Also, all the other women... Yeah, all the other women seem to think it's pretty common, too, because they talk about it. Like, Erin talks about it all the time. Yeah. So, like, whatever.
Yeah. Moving a little bit out of the Bravoverse, but not entirely. On Dancing with the Stars, in the past couple weeks, Jamie Lynn Spears went home, which made people happy because she is not well liked right now because of her sister. Some people were, like, on her Instagram were saying that she was better than others, she should have stayed, but I think we have to keep in mind that this is partially based on viewer votes. And this year, only having 3 judges instead of the 4 that they had before, there is no, like, judges save.
Yeah.
Like, whoever got the least amount of votes plus the lowest score will go home. And people weren't happy she was in the cast list in the first place. So, like, I don't know what they were expecting. Like, just, like, people were going to be like, she's a shitty person, but she dances okay.
Yeah.
Let's vote for her.
Yeah.
Like, no. Also on Dancing with the Stars, Mauricio made a comment this past week about how crazy his personal life has been lately. And I also saw that his daughters have been there every week, but not Kyle.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if he meant like the rumor mill was crazy or like something between him and Kyle is crazy.
Yeah, probably both. I mean, they are separated.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we'll get to see, it seems like we're going to get to see some of that on the upcoming season of Beverly Hills, which I don't usually watch, but I'll either keep up with or maybe I'll watch. But yeah, I mean, I would kind of think that like once you're separated, there's like not a lot going on in your life. Like the point would be to like absolve the craziness that might be going on. But yeah, so probably both. Probably people. And it looks like he
When did they announce they were separated?
So I was confused about that too. So like they obviously, when it was announced that they were going to be divorced, they like declined or denied that, right? Like they were like, we're not getting divorced.
Yeah.
But then I've looked and it looks like in September or August 31st, mixed reviews, that in September he confirmed that they're separated. And then, like, since then, she's been not wearing a ring, and I've seen, like, previews of the season, and, like, it does seem like they're gonna show conversations with them and their kids that, like, seem to hint at something. So, to answer your question, I don't really know. Like, I think he confirmed it in September at some point, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like, we had talked about, like, once you make that statement and you're like, no, this isn't true. If it is true, like, how do you backtrack that and be like, just kidding, it was true?
Yeah, and I guess that's the caveat, is that the statement was they're getting divorced, and so they can say, no, we're not getting divorced, and then later just be like, but we are separated. But it's like, unless you're saying we're separated, but, like, we are planning to work it out, we just, like, need this, you know, like, because otherwise what else are we supposed to assume about, like, if you're separated, that's like
and
usually...
maybe it's like based on, well, I was gonna say maybe it's based on him having to be on Dancing with the Stars, but she's a Real Housewife of Beverly Hills,
right?
Somewhere else. So
yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So that's really as much interesting info as Dancing with the Stars has given us so far.
Yeah, that's more than I expected, I must say.
Right. I just thought they were worth mentioning because we've talked about Britney Spears, we've talked about Kyle and Mauricio. So, moving on to our favorite lady, Taylor Swift.
We love her.
The Swifties have uncovered, and every time something like this happens, I wonder, like, who first looked into that?
Yeah.
Who thought, I'm gonna look that up.
Right, it's pretty specific. Yeah.
Right. So somebody posted a TikTok where if you go to karmaonthewall.com, it reroutes you to taylorswift.com/TS11. I tried it out. It is true. So Karma, Taylor Swift 11, Lost Album, Here We Come.
Yeah. I know.
So excited.
Part of me wants to, I wish I could separate the hype, because I'm afraid that this has, like, influenced me too much, but, like, the orange possibility, the name, the fact that we've seen Karma written on things, like, I've never been more excited for an album.
Yeah.
Than an orange Karma album. Like, I think it's going to be so freaking cool. But then I'm also like, but is it only cool because of, like, the Easter eggs and, like, everyone saying it or whatever? But, like, I still, man, like, but
I also think, though, that it'll be cool as, like, a lost sister album to Reputation.
Right.
Because Reputation is my favorite. And so I think the idea that it could be an album that was created at the same time as Reputation.
Mm-hmm.
Has good possibilities.
Yeah. That dress that she wore to the movie premiere, dude, that was so freaking cute.
Yeah.
And her hair matching the 1989 cover, also so freaking cute.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I didn't realize, like, all those people that got invited to the premiere, like, they didn't know they were gonna meet her.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was so cute. Everything is so cute.
It was cute.
What?
Go ahead.
I saw the movie yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
It was great.
Good.
I had already seen the concert, but I figured my husband should have a chance to see it at all. And it ended, and he was like, I mean, 10 out of 10. Like, it's incredible. She's a genius. Couldn't be any better.
I had to wait for my husband to get back in town, but I want to go see it.
It's good stuff.
Yeah. Her vibe during the movie premiere was obviously giving 1989, but her captions were giving Reputation lyrics throughout. Even like media coverage of her at the movie premiere, captions were giving Reputation. A lot of people were saying that even though the dress is 1989 colors, that it matches a dress from Reputation music videos. I personally disagree, but it's still like, and we are in like that. That's super exciting, but also like we already know.
Yeah.
That she's hinting at Reputation next. So
yeah. I know. Have we like given up on this double album? Or even like
I saw someone
the double 1989 album.
I saw someone speculate the other day that it's going to be a triple album.
Y'all getting crazy out here.
They pointed to her wearing purple nail polish at one of the Chiefs games.
Okay.
And said that there's going to be a blue version, a black version, and a purple version of 1989.
Okay. I
know nails are like a thing, but like her nails for like the Kansas City Chiefs is not necessarily what I'm looking toward for guidance.
Yeah, I was just talking to our mom, and she was like, I have to tell people, or I want to remind people, like, not everything she does is an Easter egg. And I'm like, like it like kind of is. But then on the flip side, I'm like, can this girl just fucking paint her nails? Like, can y'all just leave her alone?
Paint her nails sparkly purple and go. Oh, that was the thing. People were like, it's not a nod to Speak Now because they're sparkly purple.
Okay.
And Speak Now is regular purple.
Okay. 1989 isn't known for being sparkly. Weird. But yeah, I
would argue that Speak Now originally was pretty sparkly.
Yeah, I think so. Also, why it might not be a nod to anything. That's fine.
Yeah.
If we were getting other purple. And if we start, then I'm on board. But
there was like one other purple thing they pointed out that I can't remember what it was.
One of my favorite things.
But it was also.
Yeah, one of my favorite things in the movie, because it's so close up a lot of the time, is like her nails are like chipped, because it's just fucking polish. Like, it's not even like gel polish. And so I was like, all these people put so much stock into her nails, and she's like, they're not even like staying
backstage every night, like redoing them.
Yeah. Then we saw Taylor and Travis out in public. I didn't really watch it because I was confused, but Perez Hilton posted a couple days ago, like, they've already broken up. And I was like,
Yeah.
with what basis?
Some
But they've not
people
broken up,
think,
everyone. They're out holding
yeah.
hands with red lipstick in his mustache and on her nose.
Yeah. Some people have been saying, oh, I haven't clicked on the links because I am not worried about it,
Mm-mm.
but they're saying, like, these photos may mean a breakup, and it's, like, pictures of them, like, out by themselves.
This is the first time they've gone out together.
They're 32 years old.
Also, like, they're not even in a relationship yet,
Right.
to our knowledge. Like, they've
Um,
been seeing each other, and they shouldn't go out alone?
right. He sent her $2,500 flowers for her movie premiere. Like, I don't think he's worried about her being by herself sometimes.
But I just don't get it. Like, we hadn't even seen them. Oh, I'm echoing. We hadn't even really seen them together by that point. So, like, why? Everything they've been doing was alone. She even goes to his games alone.
Of causing drama.
Yeah, I did see one that was like they left the Chiefs game separate. And I was like,
why was she there?
Like, yeah, she's not there.
Not a Chiefs fan.
Donna is not like a diehard Taylor fan either, so she's not there just to hang out with Donna. Like, right. Come on now.
I think my favorite part of them being seen last night, other than the lipstick and his mustache, is, like, why they were together.
Mm-hmm.
So they made a surprise appearance on SNL. Travis appeared in a sketch about himself and Taylor that, like, was, like, parodying how sports networks have been broadcasting their relationship and her being at games. And it's funny, like, watching it back because, like, they're saying all this stuff about her and, like, you just, like, know that she's having to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, like, funny.
Yeah.
And then later, we see Taylor make an appearance introducing her friend Ice Spice as the musical guest. So they showed Travis in a sketch, and then, like, some time went by, and then they showed Taylor, so it was kind of like a surprise that they were there together.
Yeah.
But it was cute.
Cuties.
Yeah. Anything else before we move on to the big stuff?
Nope.
Okay. Now, this might be my favorite thing we're going to discuss today.
Mm-hmm.
Bachelor Nation. And we're just going to call it Bachelor Nation because it's 2 shows right now. Drama is heating up on the Golden Bachelor. We loved the Golden Bachelor for its wholesome nature, but it is proving to be very close to a normal season at this point. The same kind of drama, at the same level of drama. So, first thing that happened, Joan chose to go home after receiving a text about a family issue. All she said to Gary was, "I have to go be a mom."
Cute.
And then she left. So I don't know, like, what happened. But now people are calling for her to be our first Golden Bachelorette. I didn't really know enough about her before this. Her saying that. I think that maybe that's why people want her to be it, because they like the way she said it.
I guess, yeah.
But she also is, like, amping up her social media presence and, like, doing, like, TikTok videos and stuff now. So she's cute. I wouldn't be mad if it was her. Then, this is the crazy stuff. Teresa, who got the one-on-one date last week, was on a group date this week because Gary invited everyone on the group date. Nice. Adorable. I love that. Cute. Yes. And so Teresa, like, you know what I'm about to say? She started to express anxiety about their connection. She went on the first one-on-one. Now she's on a group date. That's how it goes. So the women are pointing out at this point that the vibe is very much like camaraderie, but also like people are beginning to worry about fending for themselves and their own connections. So Teresa's just like, they're friends though. She's just kind of like airing out her concerns with her friends. She's like literally she's just like, oh, like I just feel like I haven't seen him as much this week because, like, obviously last week I had a one-on-one and I got to see him a lot then. Very normal, standard Bachelor stuff. However, Askin, which is a group made up of April, Susan, Kathy, and Nancy. They call themselves Askin.
I just want to know how long it took them to come up with that.
Basically, they say, like, we came up with this group essentially for gossip.
Good for them.
Their motto is, you're asking, we're telling.
So cute.
Which I fully respect.
Yeah.
I love it. The acronyms, it's so freaking cute. But it's exactly what they said it is. It's gossip. It's drama. They thought that Teresa talking about her one-on-one was boastful. So they're like talking about it. They're like, this is pissing us off. Then at the cocktail party, Teresa says it again. Like, I just feel like I haven't gotten enough time with him this week. And April, who's like, has been my favorite so far, she told Teresa that she needs to shut her mouth. So Teresa pulls April aside to ask about this. Like, why did you say that to me? And April said that it was her way of defending Kathy, because Kathy has been really insecure about her connection with Gary and has been upset because Teresa is bragging.
Well, Kathy needs to buck up.
Yeah. That's the thing. As we see, Kathy can buck up. So I don't know why she's not the one saying it. So then Kathy, she's having her time with Gary, and she starts crying. And we all know what happens next in this Bachelor Nation cliche. She tells him that there are women being mean to her. He asks if there's anyone in particular he should be on the lookout for. And then he gives Kathy a rose in the middle of the cocktail party for being a tattletale, I guess.
Like, he literally, like, first impression rose all over again?
Yes. He, like, stood up. He went and grabbed a rose out of the, like, rose ceremony roses and just gave it to her.
Boy.
And then she's so happy.
You like, don't do that. You do not do that until you let the night play out. And Mary's about to tell you why, Gary.
Right. So then, Gary, who at this point must have his hearing aids turned all the way up, overhears a conversation in one of the bedrooms.
Like with the door shut?
No, he doesn't.
Oh.
No, the door's open. But no, he doesn't.
Oh.
Someone told him to go there.
Oh, production, you mean? I was like,
yeah.
What is... I don't understand. Yes.
There's no fucking way
yeah.
that he heard them.
Wait, does he walk in and say, like, I could hear y'all?
Yes, he's like, I hear people in here. This is also the second time he's done this. Last week he did it too. I walked away for a second and I came back and he's sitting on top of a bunk bed with somebody. He's like, what's going on? I'm like, why? This is the first time I've ever seen anyone wander around the house in the middle of a cocktail party.
Yeah.
So he walks in and it's Faith comforting Teresa, who's like crying and on the bed. So he comes in, Faith leaves, he sits with Teresa and he gets her point of view on the situation, which like makes her feel a lot better. Like he's like, like we do have a strong connection and like she's like, I don't think I was being boastful, and he's like, I'm sure you weren't, and like it's fine. She feels good. Then at the rose ceremony, Teresa gets the final rose of the evening, and she says in her like little interview thing that she wants to repair her relationship with Kathy because they had been friends prior to this evening. And of course they have her and Kathy standing next to each other at the rose ceremony. Where else would they put them? So she leans over to ask Kathy how her conversation with Gary had gone.
During the rose ceremony?
Teresa, don't do this. after, like, immediately after.
Oh, okay.
So, like, they're hugging the other women goodbye. And she's like, hey, how'd your conversation with Gary go? And Kathy's like, well, I cried through most of it. But then she tells her, like, Gary's a great guy. He made her feel so much better. And Teresa, she says, I agree he's a great guy because I was crying in one of the bedrooms and he came and found me and we talked and things worked out well and he's not mad at me for what you said. Basically. Like, she doesn't say it like that, but she's like, yeah, like, we talked about the situation too and like he made me feel a lot better. And Kathy said, Teresa, you need to learn to not say certain things because nobody wants to hear about you having a conversation with Gary in your bedroom.
Why is the bedroom part important?
I don't know. She literally, like, Teresa said that, and Kathy said, in the bedroom? Messy.
They were not fucking Kathy. It's
messy
good.
Women. It's so, like, so funny. But
they got these old ladies sleeping in bunk beds.
They showed, and they showed when they, which again, they've never showed something like this. Like, some of the women, when they moved into the mansion, they were like, now who can get onto a bunk bed?
Yeah.
And, like, had to, like, determine it that way. But me and my husband were talking about it, and we were talking about, like, he said that he was thinking about, like, if his grandma was on this show, which, like, his grandma is, like, 90-something.
Yeah, not the same.
So she's not gonna be on the show, but, like, we're talking about, like these older women, like, don't even think before they say things. And they're like, Teresa, you need to learn. Like, I can't, like, when a 20-something-year-old woman does that on a regular season of The Bachelor, we're like, oh my god, like,
yeah,
bitch. But then these women, it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Luckily, things are equally as messy on Bachelor in Paradise. Good. So, going into this week, the established relationships are Jess and Blake, Kylie and Avon, Kat with a K, and Brayden. The other Kat went home. Aaron S. and Sam, Aaron B. and Eliza, Peter and Olivia, Mercedes and Will, and Sean and Rachel. I actually, after the first rose ceremony, I would not have said Peter and Olivia and Mercedes and Will were established relationships.
Yeah.
But then when they're kind of, like, recapping the week like they do, they show, like, Peter and Olivia have gotten really close, and Mercedes and Will have been, like, kissing and, like, flirting and, like cuddling and stuff. So I think at that point in the beginning of the week, they felt, like, pretty solid.
Mm-hmm.
And then Tanner comes in, and I, with all due respect, I don't get why they all thought he was so hot.
He looks like...
He's attractive, but, like...
80% of men that have been on The Bachelorette.
Like, he looks like every other guy on that beach. Like, yeah. I just don't get, like, why, like, he is, like, the creme de la creme.
Yeah.
For them.
Yeah.
It was weird. But he comes in and he asks Kat on a date, who has previously been with Brayden.
I just feel the need to, like, shake Kat. Mm-hmm. And, like, or give her, like, the Urban Dictionary definition of, like, a golden retriever man. Because, like, it's not Brayden.
No.
And I like Brayden nowadays.
Yeah.
But that does not make him a golden retriever.
Right.
Girl.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, also, that's kind of, like, a weird thing to say to another man who's, like, considering asking you on a date.
Right.
I've been hanging out with so-and-so. He's like a golden retriever. Like, that's a weird...
He's like the best kind of guy I've ever met.
Yeah. I do think, though, that, like... And like you said, like, I'm liking Brayden right now, and I said I thought I would.
Mm-hmm.
I want that to go down in history that I said I thought I would like him
On the record.
better on Paradise. But he was such a hot commodity coming in for so many level-headed women that I have to wonder if they had seen Charity season prior to hitting the beach.
Yeah.
Like Rachel specifically.
Before
I
she
feel like that's not, if she had seen it, I feel like that's not who she would have gone for.
Right. But then
You know?
I don't think they had seen it fully.
I don't think that they had either. I think it would have like just missed it.
Yeah.
When they first got there. But I think that's an interesting thing to consider. But I also think that's maybe a good thing because he is being so different on the beach.
Yeah.
Like, good for him that he's getting his little redemption arc before they've seen how bad it could be.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like liking him and I was like, "Ugh, why do I like him?" But then the fact that everyone else on the beach seems to like him too. I'm like okay.
All the guys.
Right, when Sean was like, I never would have thought that I would like
he's
Brayden
like, I actually
now.
like Brayden.
Yeah, like I think it's proving that he has actually been different, so good for him.
Yeah. So when Kat and Tanner get back from their date, Kat immediately breaks up with Brayden, and although we like him, he loses his fucking mind.
Yeah.
A little bit. And I think this is where we see a little bit of like what he was doing on Charity season with like getting so caught up in this connection that has just formed and like putting so much weight into it that he kind of goes off the rails. Yeah. But so basically, and I don't blame him, I will say. But basically she tells him that she already had reservations. Anyway, and now that this better man has come along, she's, oh, well, I'm gonna peace out. He's like, this is the first time hearing that you have reservations.
Yeah.
And because everyone in Paradise loves Brayden now, everyone kind of comes for Kat. So they have that conversation. He like tells everyone how it went while she's taking a shower. She was like, I have to go take a shower. And she leaves. And he's like telling everyone what happened. And they're all kind of getting pissed. And when she gets back, Kylie and Jess tell her that she's not taking other people's feelings into account. And they also had pointed out previously in this episode that Jess and Kat are like best friends.
Yeah.
And that they didn't say this to her, but they had talked about it earlier in the episode. One of the things she's not taking into account is that Tanner was Jess's number one. And some people were saying it was kind of shitty that Kat said yes to a date with him without checking with Jess first.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of like Olivia was the one that said it.
Yeah.
And I already think Olivia has a skewed view of what's shitty.
Yeah.
I don't think she needed to check with Jess. One, because technically Jess has a Paradise boyfriend.
Well, and Tanner did talk to Jess.
Right, and Tanner talked to Jess.
He chose not to take her, you know?
Yeah. And they did, I do think that they both talked about that they thought he was cute. And they were interested in him. So it's not like Jess had like no idea this was coming. He had pulled Kat too.
Yeah.
But what they tell Kat is that she's not taking Brayden's feelings into account because he is hurt. And she's like, well, I was already like losing feelings. And they were like, well, he didn't know that though, because at the rose ceremony, Kat had been very affectionate toward him. So when she broke up with him, he was really surprised because he thought things were amping up.
Yeah.
So then she talks to him again, and he tells her that he feels like a dirty whore.
Okay.
Because she used him to get a rose and stay on the beach, even though she didn't want to be with him. And she's like, that is not true. But that is kind of what everyone is thinking now, that she never really liked Brayden and that she just wanted to stay on the beach, so she like built this connection with him. until she was able to find someone better. Blake actually calls her a murder bird and compares what she has done to Brayden to a murder bird eating the heart of a crab.
Mm-hmm.
Which...
Drama.
I'm not saying that I know that's not true, but that's like a lot.
That's drama, Blake.
Saying she's a murder bird, saying you feel like a dirty whore. Those are crazy things to say.
Yeah. I don't know. I felt like in the actual conversation with her and Brayden,
mm-hmm.
I did get what he meant by like she seemed cold. So like a feeling.
I do agree with that. I agree with everything except the dirty whore thing.
Yeah. So like I feel like she was cold, but I don't like know that other than that she really did anything wrong. Like you went on a date, you come back, you're direct, you say like I am interested in him, whatever. But I also, frankly, I think Brayden was like pretty calm. I think he was sad, but I think he was like fine. I think he started to lose his mind because it was like fucking Rodney all over again. Everyone made him lose his mind. They're like, well, do you think she just wanted your rose? Or do you and I was like, stop. Like, of course now he thinks she just wanted his rose. And like, frankly, she probably did just want his rose. But like, I feel like
you can't ask leading questions to a 24-year-old.
Well, and I also think, like, the girls weren't saying to her, like, there's some massive drama going on now. Like, she took it as, like, he must be running around raging about me. And all they were saying was, like, hey, maybe stop, like, flaunting Tanner or stop, like, acting super cheerful because other people are sad right now. And she keeps going, y'all are acting weird. Just say it. Y'all are acting weird. And they're like, we did just say it. Like, I don't understand.
That's exactly it.
But also, like, honestly, I agree with the beach because Kat just sucks, dude. Like, her conversation with Jess and Kylie, I felt like my brain was about to fall out of my head. I was like, I don't even know what I'm watching. Like, I cannot even understand what she's like arguing. She's not like letting
her original season too.
She's not like letting anyone talk, but it's like I don't even know what the point was. And then she tells Brayden that he's being confrontational, and I'm like, that is absurd. He hadn't even said the dirty whore thing yet. And he's being, like, I was like, you just went and pulled him and told him, basically, keep my name out your mouth. And you're telling him he's being confronted. I was like, this is so nuts to watch.
Yeah.
And
but that's exactly how she was on Zach's season. And I know that you didn't watch Zach's season, but they keep referencing, like, something that happened with her in Charity.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, basically what had happened at that moment was that Charity had gotten a one-on-one date. She got dressed. Zach came to pick her up, and like the second he stepped into the house, Kat asked him if they could talk when he's supposed to be taking Charity on a date.
Weird. And
she like pulls him aside and like talks to him. They like make out, and then he has to go pick Charity up for the date.
Weird.
And leave with Charity, and the girls are kind of like, specifically Brooklyn, is like, that was shitty. Like, you shouldn't have done that. This is her one-on-one date. Like, she should get time. She should get to get picked up and go. Like, that was super inappropriate. And Kat was like, I don't understand, like, why y'all are coming for me. Like, she, like, did the same thing. Like, was like, I don't know why everyone's mad at me. I didn't do anything wrong, and I don't know why everyone is, like, yelling at me.
Yeah.
And that's when Brooklyn said, if the shoe fits, lace that bitch up.
Mm-hmm.
It was, like, to Kat, and, like, literally, like, the exact same thing. Like, where she is not taking anyone else's feelings into account.
But it's
she's
like...
acting off, and then is like, I don't know why everyone's mad at me.
But it's so strange. I've, like, never really seen someone do it like this. Like, she's, like, deflecting, but all she's deflecting with is, like, feigned ignorance. Like, I don't even know. I don't even get it. I don't even know. It's like she's not even coming up with any content. Like, if you're gonna deflect, like, fucking say something. You're just saying, I don't know, over and over again.
Right. And, like, you should know, because you're an adult.
Yeah. Come on.
with common sense.
Brayden might not be an adult, but I'm just kidding.
Then Tyler comes down, who, in my opinion, is much cuter than
Then
Tanner.
Obviously.
Tyler's adorable.
Tyler,
and they're like, oh, yeah.
Tyler's quite possibly, in my opinion, the most attractive person we've had in Bachelor Nation ever.
So thinking cute. And at first, Rachel's really excited because she says they've had a little bit of a flirtmance going on ever since her season. I was so into that. Like, I was like, that would be so fun. See that play out on the beach. Like, even Brayden was like, I would love to see them give it another go. Like, he's like, I'm here for it. But instead, he asks Mercedes on the date.
I was getting zero romantic vibes when Rachel and Tyler went to talk. Like, the way they were, like, quote, flirting, like, I was getting like, brother, sister, like, we're just friends.
Well, she said that they flirt a lot.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
I think he was really into it. I don't think he was.
Yeah, I think it was very, like, friend-ish.
I think to be fair, when you make it that far in a season and get your heart broken by a lead, it's probably hard to, like, to think of them, you know, that way.
Yeah.
Also, I will say, I don't think that Mercedes and Brittany, like, look alike. But, like, Brittany, who he kind of connected with last season on Paradise, is, like, physically more similar to Mercedes. Like, dark hair, dark eyes, which is very different from Rachel. So I'm wondering if that's kind of more his type.
I was going to say, it was nice to see him go for Mercedes because I think the girls with darker features are, like, rarely, like, anyone's number one pick, it seems.
Yeah.
Like, or unless, and this is just an observation, unless they're men of color, like, they're not usually any white men's number one choice, at least. So I was, like, really intrigued that he was, like, super into Mercedes, and I thought they were so cute, and I also think Mercedes is so fucking hot. So I was like, good for him. But now that you say that, maybe that is just, like, his thing. I mean, not like a kink, but, like, I think he may like women with darker features.
Yeah, because, like, Brittany is, like, she's got, like, olive tone skin, you know? Like, again, they don't look alike, but, like...
Sure, yeah.
More similar than they do to Rachel.
Yeah.
So on the date, he tells Mercedes that she was who he was hoping to meet, and she says that he was her number one. They're so cute and, like, so giddy the whole time. Tyler and Avon are roommates, and Mercedes and Kylie are best friends. So they said that they've been thinking about, like, how fun it would be to go out, like, the four of them. She is convinced that they are meant to be because she saw a shooting star and then a raccoon during the date.
I was waiting for her to tell me what a raccoon's, like, meaning is, and she was like, I don't know what that means, but
raccoon is the state mammal of Tennessee.
And they love trash, so it means you're trash.
There's, like, a social studies unit I used to have to teach. It's called Raccoon, More Than Just a Pesky Animal.
Cute.
And it was about how the raccoon became a symbol of Tennessee. It's really not that interesting, but they do symbolize something.
Not for her, though.
Maybe they symbolize what all Bachelor Nation couples strive for, which is moving to Nashville.
Yeah, it's true.
Anyway, so when they get back, it isn't as dramatic, but everyone is still pretty annoyed because this is the second time Will has built a solid connection for just to have his girl go on a date and come back ready to date the new guy. Yeah. And Will is, like, sad, but it's not like nobody's, like, mad and, like, yelling. They're just like, poor Will. We also finally get to the part of the season where Sam is having trouble pooping.
So sad.
So,
could not be me.
Let me tell you all about it. Sam is going on 9 days without poop. And the medic comes to see her. My favorite thing he says is, sometimes poop can be funny, but it can also be very serious.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you did not have to lead with sometimes poop can be funny.
Yeah.
You could just do your job.
Yeah.
Normal. He tells her that if it gets to 10 days, they will have to take her into surgery and, quote, deliver a poop baby.
Mm-hmm.
So she tells Olivia and some of the other girls, like, what's going on. She's upset because she might have to leave Paradise and lose her connection with Aaron over something that, like, feels, like, silly in the grand scheme of things. And finally, she tells Aaron S. what's been going on, and his reaction is, like, a redemption for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I did not like Aaron S.
Yeah.
After he was talking shit on Sean. But he's really sweet about it. He tells her that he's going to help her through it however he can. And he's trying to find a way to say, we will raise this poop baby together in the least gross way possible.
Yeah.
Trying to be funny.
Yeah.
Which it can't be not gross, but it was cute.
It was.
He brings her tacos, coffee, taquitos, beans, other snacks.
Olive oil shots.
He eats them with her. Yeah. He eats them with her. And then they're sitting and talking for a while, and she says her stomach hurts, and he's like, that's great. Mm-hmm. He's like, I'm so happy for you. Go, go, go. He's like cheering her on. It was really cute. But then, she's like walking really leisurely to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And then when she gets there, she just lays in the bed and starts rubbing her stomach. So I don't even know if she tried to go to the bathroom yet, if this is an after, like, shot and they cut that part out. They're making us wait until next week to find out if this girl poops. But I think if she doesn't, and she does have to go to the hospital, I think Aaron S. would leave with her.
I thought that too. But weirdly, like, it was just, like, weird, and maybe he just wouldn't tell her yet, but, like, but then when she was, like, talking to him and saying, like, I would hate to leave you, and he was like, yeah, it would be hard to be here without you, or, like, he was saying stuff like, I don't know, he was saying stuff that made it sound like he would stay.
Yeah.
And, like, be without her, but, yeah, I mean, maybe he just didn't want to tell her for sure yet. I don't know.
I have to wonder if there's maybe, like, some kind of unspoken rule about agreeing to leave Paradise with someone before the end of the show, just because, like, that has happened before and caused issues.
Or even, like, before she has pooped or not pooped, you know, like, because then if she does poop and neither of them have to leave, then it's very much like, then why are they still here? They could just leave together, you know? Yeah.
Because I think about Brendan and Piper, and like the way it was, like, kind of, like, seen as, like, diabolical, like, them leaving together, and, like, even, like, Kaylin and Dean leaving together felt like a little bit pre-planned and, like, kind of, like, sketchy. And it worked out, but, like, I think that it's probably for the best that if he does want to leave with her, he waits until they get to that bridge before he crosses it.
Yeah.
But yes, a wonderful way to end the episode.
Yeah. Or who knows?
Yeah, and now we're moving on to Big Brother. So I feel a lot better knowing that Bowie Jane was trying to throw the tiebreaker when she wrote 27 minutes.
Yeah. But I do wish she knew how these games worked. If you're gonna try to throw it, go, like, 4 billion.
Right.
You know?
Like, go high.
Right.
High.
Right.
We also, to kind of start this whole week on Big Brother, we get a little more insight into Mimi's exit accusations. So when she left, she said that Corey and America are working with Bowie Jane and that they are targeting Blue, Matt, and Jag, and that they're going to use Felicia to execute their plan. So I don't think she was entirely off.
Mm-hmm.
I think she was off about like the details, but Corey and America are pretty closely aligned with Bowie Jane, which I did not know.
Mm-hmm.
But they are also aligned with Jag and Matt. So once Bowie Jane becomes HOH, they want her to target Cameron and Blue, but Jag and Matt, as they're having this conversation with them, they're kind of like, I don't think Bowie Jane should do that, because like Corey and America are doing whatever they can to keep their hands clean.
Mm-hmm.
And they know that it would be dangerous to put Cameron and Blue up next to each other, so they're letting Bowie Jane do their dirty work. So not targeting all three of those people, but definitely are targeting Blue. Blue is getting more closely aligned with Sari and Felicia now that Jared is gone, and they're all hoping for Corey and America to go up instead. And at this point, interestingly, Cameron is like a floater.
Yeah. Well, but he's like apparently like the way they're talking, he's like ride or die with Blue. Or he thinks he's ride or die with Blue, I guess.
Yeah. Did you see the snip of her telling her she's gonna block him?
She told him that?
Yeah.
Good for her.
He said, he was like talking to her, and he said like, I can't wait to get out of the house and like just get to like hang out with everybody, like really casual. He's like, even like just like FaceTiming and like talking to each other on social media. And she said, respectfully, Cameron, you are the first person I'm blocking when I get out of this house.
Good for her. Did he cry? Did he think she was kidding?
Excited to see all of us after this.
Me too.
Like, not at a party, not at a club, just like hanging out. No, just like random FaceTimes.
Oh yeah.
Or just like texting, because I will. I'm gonna send you. I'll send you videos.
Cameron, respectfully, you are the first person I'm blocking.
Copy that.
Oh my god. Yeah. I think it's all been like super interesting to get to watch them strategize like this. Like all these multiple alliances overlapping and basically trying to like trick people into doing what's like best for like yourself. I feel like in recent seasons, everyone's like, oh, well, Mary's HOH and we all know what Mary's gonna do. Like no one's like trying to convince them to do anything else. And so I appreciate that they're like, how can I make this HOH work for me? It's been fun.
Yeah. We also get some heartwarming moments this week. So Felicia opens up about why she went into the military in 1982. And she tells everyone that it was as a way to escape an abusive relationship. I'm glad that they kept this in a main episode, because October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And Felicia, while she's like talking about this, she's explaining that at the time she did not have the resources that we have now, and so going into the military felt like her only way to get out of the situation, and it gave her an opportunity so that when she came back, she did not have to see that man again. She said after she left, she never saw him again. But now, like, this is like what she's telling everyone, like, now there are people you can call and places you can go designed specifically for survivors of domestic violence. I think that was like awesome that they kept that in, because I think that's important for people to know, especially this month. We also get to see Jag teach everyone how to tie a turban, which was really cool.
Yeah.
And then we were like watching, and Sammy was like, why is it so long? Like, where is he gonna put all of that fabric? Like did not realize like how much fabric is like in it.
Yeah.
So it was really cool to see like how he does it. And then Matt has a talk with Felicia about how offensive it is to whisper around him. And like we've seen him get frustrated with this before, but he explains that for someone who is deaf, whispering sounds like really heavy breathing instead of words. So I guess, like, we've been questioning, Matt does have some level of hearing.
Yes, yeah.
But when people are whispering, he can't make out what the words are.
Right.
And Felicia kind of, like, compared it to, like, if someone was speaking a different language around you,
Right.
and you have an idea, like, what they are talking about, but you don't know what they are specifically saying.
Yeah, and he talked about, like, in a different setting where, like, if Jag needed to whisper to me, but he's looking directly at me, I can read his lips. But in a 4-way conversation,
right,
like, people can't be looking directly at me all the time. Yeah, and I thought that, like, the way Jag comforted him about that, too, was, like, nice to see. Like, I mean, there's nothing he can do for Matt. Like, you can't make Big Brother a game where people aren't whispering. So he just, like, let that be hard for Matt, you know?
Yeah. Throughout the nomination episode, Bowie Jane reveals that she's kind of working with everyone in the house except for Cirie, Blue, and Felicia because she's still mad over them voting Red out.
Yeah.
So then everyone else is, like, approaching her and telling her to put Cameron up, and she's pretty hesitant because she really likes him. She's loyal to him. She says he is also still mad about them voting Red out.
Yeah.
We are the same, and that, like, when he was HOH, he didn't consider putting her up, and, like, she's trying to be loyal to him and is not really giving in to people wanting her to put him up.
Yeah. Yeah, she did. We did see her get, like, a little annoyed when someone told her that Cameron was talking about her, and she's like, what? Like, I thought we trusted each other, and, like, she obviously didn't like that.
Yeah.
But
yeah. So at the nomination ceremony, she ends up nominating Cirie and Felicia in the cringiest nomination ceremony of the season, because then she yells out to blame Corey, which seems to be an inside joke that only Bowie Jane is in on.
yeah.
Like, literally everyone is, like, looking around, and Corey's like what the fuck just happened? And then Jag wins POV, which I was like, oh, okay, uneventful week, moving on. No, apparently not.
Yeah. But what is up now that we have these Tuesday episodes? What is up with them not letting us see the veto ceremony? Like, last week, I thought, okay, fine, like, they're just trying to, like, keep the suspense.
Yeah, they do that sometimes.
Yeah, and it was like they showed the veto ceremony, they just didn't show, like, the result. But then this week, it was like we literally didn't see it at all. And, like, I don't understand why.
Yeah.
But Jag used, which we didn't find out till Thursday, used the veto to take Felicia off the block so that Cameron could be backdoored. Cameron was convinced that he had been working not only with Bowie, but also with Matt and Jag, so he was hurt by this plan.
He was in the nomination, he was, like, mumbling to himself.
Yeah, he was just... And he tells Bowie, like, this speaks to your character, and whatever.
I hate when people say like that on Big Brother.
She's like, okay.
Like, you've been running your mouth all season about wanting to fuck these, like, 20-something-year-old girls when you have a wife at home, and talking about how you want to fuck some of them and they remind you of your daughter. I would maybe not question other people's character if I were you.
Yeah.
Personally.
On the live episode, all of the house guests decide that they're all going to describe Julie as exquisite when they go into the diary room to vote. And this was actually hilarious TV. I've never seen them, like, plan something out like this with Julie or, like, whatever. And why have we not seen that? That's, like, incredible.
That's so funny.
Yeah. But the funniest part was when Julie finally caught on So she tries to catch America by telling her first that she looks exquisite. America basically, like, glitches and it's just, like, says what she was gonna say anyway. And then she asks, when Corey comes in, she just says, "Hi, Corey, how do I look?" And he says, "Good." Which I thought was hilarious. But then, after the eviction, weirdly, they ask Corey what he said, and he, like, straight up lies. At first, I thought, like, he's just misremembering how Julie worded it to him. But then he, like, says... He says that he said, like, "You look unbearably exquisite." Which is, like, clearly
He does later tell them the truth.
Oh. But, like, why do you lie?
I don't know. He, like, when he tells them about it, he's like, okay, that's not actually what I said. He's like, and I think he kind of says, like, he doesn't know why he lied, but he said, like, and she asked me, like, "How do I look?" And I said, "Good." And America said, "Wait, that's even funnier."
Yeah. Well, I thought, like, maybe he didn't want them to think he, like, broke the plan. Like, but I was like, it's not that big a deal.
Right.
But Cameron is evicted 6-0 and becomes the first jury member. And I can only hope that the second jury member is not Blue or America.
Yeah. I, like, hope that it's, like, Suri or Felicia. Because I feel like then when Blue and America do get to the jury house, they're gonna, like...
mother them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it ends with... It ends with some twist in the HOH room. That's all I got.
Yeah. We have to wait to find out this evening. Alright. So, I lost my place.
Love is blind.
Love is blind. Is it?
It's not.
So I truly cannot believe anymore how reckless these people are. And, like, I honestly feel at this point that they either did not sign NDAs or that Love is Blind is, like, encouraging them to go off the rails on socials because they are absolutely nuts. Like, I feel like there's no way that these people signed NDAs and Love is Blind is just letting it go while they act crazy.
Yeah.
So Renee has confirmed now that she and Carter were engaged and that they made it down the aisle. She posted a picture with Taylor with a caption speculating that their men, Carter and JP, may have been at the Capitol on January 6th.
Hilarious.
Yeah, it is good. She then posted on TikTok a video snippet of her at the dress try-on saying thank you to Lydia for allowing her to bring her mom and best friends to watch someone they don't know try on wedding dresses.
Also hilarious.
Yes, she's so funny.
Renee is hilarious.
So then people started showing snippets from the tux fitting as well, where you can see, like, the back of Carter's head, and then you can see, like, his arm. But it was, like, cropped. Like, he was on the edge of the, like, where however they were sitting, and he kept getting cropped out of the footage.
Yeah.
So he was also not interviewed or, like, shown as, like, a pod person.
Yeah. Yeah, so she's done a few interviews now where first she said that the show basically told her a couple months before it aired that she and Carter would have a smaller role on the show, which she did not know what that meant, so she asked, like, well, are you going to show our wedding? And they explained, like, no, really, like, y'all are just going to be pod friends. She explains that things were going well between her and Carter in Mexico, quote, but once we got back to Houston and back to the real world, I started noticing things that I kind of ignored or blew off that were red flags I should have picked up on, and eventually I did say no at the altar, end quote. People on Instagram are calling for Love is Blind to hashtag release the Renee cut. And this has kind of included like clips of her from in like the girls area, like just that Renee is, I think people just think Renee's like funny, and she's like, it would have been cool to get to see her, you know, so release videos of Renee. Recently Renee did another interview where she said that one of the things Carter did during their engagement was that he took a woman back to their apartment while she was out one day. So
I saw like some people speculating that the reason they cut their relationship was because Carter was just so unbearable.
Well, they said that to her, apparently. They said, like, it's because Carter's awful. And it's like, you gave us Shake.
Right.
But you draw the line at, like, this guy that's awful. Like, I just, like, that's part of reality TV, is hating people, having villains.
Right. Exactly. So what started this whole thing was that people looked for Renee and Carter's marriage license and found it, and found that it had been returned. So then they started looking for Stacy and Izzy's marriage license and Lydia and Milton's as well. Before I tell you what they found, do you think there is any chance... Oh, well, now we've seen it, but did you think that they would have gone through with their weddings?
Yeah, I think my feeling was that Lydia and Milton would probably get married. I mean, I did see, like, him maybe realizing, like, I don't know that I want, like, I lead such a calm life right now, and, like, this is going to make my life chaos, being with someone like this, who is like Lydia. I mean, emotional and things. But, so I do think, like, I did think they would get married. Like, I have always kind of felt that way. But then I thought, like, maybe he will shock us. I don't really know. But he just seems, like, so, like, never riled up that I just, like, assume he'll just go with the flow. And then, actually, after the credit card debt scene with Stacy and Izzy, everyone else was saying, like, that's when they realized, like, they probably wouldn't get married. But, like, for me, the fact that she went back and, like, comforted him, it actually made me think, like, I think they will get married. Like, if his credit card debt and him not telling her about it is not a big enough deal, then, like, yeah, they probably will.
Yeah. I know you had said that maybe, like, saying the license was returned means returned completed.
Yeah.
And, like, not returned means they just didn't turn it in. But what people were saying they found on Renee and Carter was that their marriage license was returned.
I agree. I started to think about, like, with my marriage license, what they said was, like, we have not gotten it returned in this many days, so it won't be valid. So it's like, I don't really know. I mean, I don't know if the language was wrong in one and not in the other, or I don't know. Yeah.
Maybe, like, and maybe there's a way to return it and say, like, never mind.
Yeah, like, literally return it empty.
What people found was that Lydia and Milton had returned their marriage license, but Stacy and Izzy had not. And Izzy has now been seen in TikToks that say he's single. So they had released the wedding episodes a few days ago, and Stacy did not say I do to Izzy at the altar, but apparently didn't want to, like, break up. She said it was just too fast for her, but that she still loves him and she is still standing by him, that they're still together, they're just not getting married today.
And it seemed like he was on board with that. Like, it seemed like, at least at the altar, he also didn't think they were breaking up. He says, I completely understand. They have a kiss that, like, people kind of, like, cheer for. Like, I was like, I actually was telling Billy, like, how freaking cute is this? That, like, they're able to be mature enough to say, like, okay, dude, we need more than 6 weeks, but, like, that doesn't mean we don't love each other. It doesn't mean this isn't, like, a happy day to be with our families. And
Yeah.
then
I had walked away
it
from the
got
TV
weird.
and I heard everyone cheering.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, they got married. And then I came back and they were like, we're not married. And I was like, what is happening?
Yeah.
But then he tells her that if they were to stay together, he would always wonder if there will ever be a right time for them to get married, which I think is silly because if you've only known this girl for a number of weeks, she is perfectly right in saying that it's too fast.
Right, and it's like she just found out about your credit card debt, and even though Izzy says, like, I wasn't lying, I just, like, wanted to have a serious conversation about that, that's totally fine. Fine, whatever. But the fact that that conversation didn't come up until, like, the day before your wedding, don't you think there's a lot of conversations that haven't come up? Like, I don't think it's crazy for her to say, like, I just want more time so that these conversations can come up.
Right, like, that's how a normal relationship works, and it's okay if she wants this to become a normal relationship. Mm-hmm. So, but then he gets weird and, like, frustrated. He tells her, or not tells her, but he is telling anyone who will listen, I guess, on the camera, that love has no credit score, and love has no price tag, and that love is supposed to be, like, in the Titanic, and that there is a reason that she is 33 and unmarried, and that he is only 29. I know. He's only 29, which is not that much younger than 33.
No.
You dingbat. And he'd give her everything a rich 45-year-old man can give her, which is not true because he's in debt. Mm-hmm. He's not rich. Mm-hmm. So, incorrect. Mm-hmm. And then, because there's only 2 freaking couples, this all happens in one episode, Lydia and Milton do get married. People are saying that they think that has less to do with them being in love and more to do with Lydia trying to prove that she wasn't just there for Uche, and with Milton trying to piss his family off.
Okay.
For the sake
I do get the vibe of trying to piss his family off. I do.
Yeah. For the sake of Milton, I hope that things work out the way they are supposed to for him.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Chris, who was with Johnny, has now posted pictures of his new girlfriend on social media. So they are not together anymore. And those were the only 3 couples the show ended with.
Yeah.
But allegedly, 2 contestants have been removed from the show entirely, even from the pod scenes. Supposedly, Tran Dang got engaged to Thomas Smith in the pods and went with the others on the Mexico vacation.
So with that, there would have been 5 couples in all in Mexico, which, like, we were talking about, like, why would you, we have talked about before, like, maybe they only have room for 5, and, like, this time they obviously only had 3, but if Renee and Carter are cut out and this couple is cut out, then, like, technically there would have been 5 to start, so I guess that's normal.
So, after leaving the show, Tran filed a lawsuit against Thomas and Love is Blind, claiming that he sexually assaulted her while in Mexico, and that she alerted producers who she believed would have had footage of the incident, given that cameras are rolling in their rooms 24/7. And she claims that they told her this was not a sexual assault, but simply a lack of attraction on her part.
Do we know when she left? Like, did she leave, like, right after Mexico, or did they finish all the way through?
The show is saying she did not leave right after Mexico.
But, like,
we don't know if they made it to... They said she continued for weeks.
Okay.
Before she left.
Okay.
The show responded with a statement that read in part, quote, "We support and stand with victims of sexual assault, but Miss Dang's claims against the producers are meritless. We document the independent choices of adults who volunteer to participate in a social experiment. Their journey is not scripted, nor is it filmed around the clock. We have no knowledge or control over what occurs in private living spaces when not filming, and participants may choose to end their journey at any time. Dang never informed the producers of any alleged wrongdoing of any kind and continued in the experiment for weeks after the time her lawyers now claim an incident occurred. She never told us that she felt unsafe or experienced any of the allegations that she made. End quote.
I don't like the independent choices of adults who volunteer to participate, or we have no...
Saying that she didn't volunteer to participate in this situation.
I also don't like we have no control over what occurs in private living spaces when not filming. Of course you don't, but, like, you do have a responsibility to keep people safe. Like, obviously, no, you can't control them, but, like, come on now.
Right. Tran Dang's attorney responded by saying that they believe they will win this suit, especially given that it was filed shortly after Jeremy Hartwell's lawsuit outlining the allegations of neglect of contestants from season 2.
This is just so sad.
Yeah. I also wonder, like, she's the one who said that she thought they would have footage because she thought they were filmed 24/7. So, like, for what reason did she think she was being filmed 24/7? If she wasn't, and like they're saying, we don't film around the clock. We did not catch that, but like, then why did she think she was being filmed?
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think because I'm kind of mixing it up. In like the Ultimatum and Married at First Sight, when they go to their like shared apartment, they do have like summer house style cameras. But I'm trying to think. I don't think Love Is Blind really does. Like, I don't think we ever see anything from up in like the corner of the wall.
No, I know they do. Yeah, they do in like Married at First Sight.
Yeah,
and stuff.
Yeah,
but I don't, and I do think that. But also, do they have that and they just didn't put it in because of this lawsuit?
Or like, does she know for a fact cameramen were there? Like, is she like during the time that this happened, like, I know we were being filmed. Like, it is interesting.
Right. Like, that's my thing is, like, if she's like, I know y'all have footage of it, like, why does she think that? You know?
Right.
If she didn't see, like, a camera at the time.
Yeah.
Speculation is also swirling that JP might not be as conservative as he seems because some of his Instagram photos are absolutely giving cunt.
Mm-hmm.
Realness. Like, I've seen them and they're
fruity patriot. Yeah, it's so weird because they're like, when I first saw these, I was like, how far do people have to dig for this? Like, it is literally just right there on his own page. Does he like not realize this is off brand for him?
Right. And they're recent. You don't even have to scroll to find them. They're like, as soon as you look at his page, they're right there.
Yeah. And I guess he thinks they are on brand because it was like a USA themed thing still, but the eyeliner, baby.
The eyeliner.
Someone who hates makeup. Someone who hates makeup so much. Dude, come on.
Crazy. Other accusations of participants' actual interest in getting married are kind of running wild. So, obviously, Lydia went on the show to get engaged to Uche. We know that.
Yes.
Old hat. But people are also speculating that Izzy went on the show because of his money issues. That Stacy, this is my favorite one, that Stacy went on the show to get away from her home renovation.
Just to, like, catch a break? Just, like, I want to ignore it?
I think the person who said that was trying to be funny.
Yeah.
But they were like, look, I've had a home renovated. I would do anything to get out of there for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And to come back with it finished. And someone was saying that they wondered if Milton was scouted by the show. So they think, so this is what, and I think, again, she was saying that, like, she has no, like, reason to believe this other than, like, it makes sense in her head. But this girl was saying that, obviously, Uche got on the show. And then Lydia found out he was going to be on the show. So she was saying, I think that Lydia went to them and said, I want to be on the show. Here's why you should let me be on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Listen how crazy this is going to be. So they let Lydia on. But they wanted someone else there for Lydia to be interested in.
Yeah.
Other than Uche. So they found some guy that really likes rocks.
Mm-hmm.
And they put him on there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it worked. Yes.
It's possible.
Yeah. I think all of those are, like, purely speculative, but still funny.
Yeah. Oh, man.
But that is all I have.
Alrighty. Well, we'll see you again Friday.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. Next time on The Housewife Did It, Katie will tell Mary the story of the mysterious and tragic death of Elisa Lamb at the Cecil Hotel.
Follow us on all social media at Housewife Did It Pod. Housewife singular.